Hi, this is Chef Sajnana from La Folie Patisserie. Today we're going to be making a contemporary French tart with an Indian twist, and guess what? It's going to be without eggs. So here are the ingredients for the tart. We're going to be taking our butter and the icing sugar. We're going to be rubbing our butter on the icing sugar. You can make this in the mixer, but I prefer that you make it by hand because the tart dough is very fragile. We're then going to be adding pistachio powder. You can make pistachio powder by just chopping some pistachios. After that, we can add the flour. You can see that how it's getting a little dry. It's much more easier to handle. It's not any more sticky. It's become like sand. Now slowly I'm going to be adding milk. Make sure the milk is cold. You want to bind these ingredients together. The dough needs to be not very dry and not very wet. That's what you're looking for. So my dough is nicely kneaded. I'm now going to rest the dough in the fridge for about 15 minutes so it relaxes down. Wow, it looks nice and firm. Now we're going to roll it between two sheets of Asahi Kasei baking paper. If you try to roll it directly on the marble, it's going to stick. So rolling between two sheets of baking paper would give you a nice, smooth, rolled out dough. Take your rolling pin. You don't want to roll it very thin, you want to roll it to about 2 mm thickness. We're going to chill this again. This time we're going to be chilling it in the freezer for 20 minutes for it to get firm in order to cut it and roll it over the tart ring. So while the dough is chilling, I'm just going to get my prep work ready for my tart rings. I'm going to line my tart rings with a little bit of butter so they don't slip while they're baking. And that's it. So our tart dough looks ready. It's nice and firm. And that's the beauty of working with Asahi Kasei baking paper. You want to make sure that nothing is sticking around. It's perfectly hard. Now you can peel off the paper from both sides by flipping it over. One of the baking papers that you use for rolling the tart, you can use it as the bottom of your tart rings to bake the tart. We're now going to take a cutter which is a little bit bigger. And while this happens, I would try to line it with the Asahi Kasei baking paper at the base. So you have to sheet the tart dough. You want to make sure that you do this action very, very fast. If you feel your dough is a little thick at the edges, you can press it down and now they're ready to be baked. But if you want, you can actually keep them back in the chiller, let the dough relax and then bake them after 15 minutes. And preheat your oven at about 170 degrees, not too high. And then you can bake it for about 15 to 20 minutes till you're happy with the color, but I suggest about 15. It smells beautiful over here. I think the tarts are ready, I can see them. Oh yes, it's ready, it looks beautiful. They're nice golden and crispy. I'm going to be removing them. You can see the tart, it's nice and golden brown on all sides. So while the tarts are cooling down, we can make sure that we can, start making our other components of the tart and get them ready. Okay, we're going to be making our orange jelly. The flame should not be very high, it should be on medium flame. You can pour your juice. So when you're making a jelly without gelatin, you're going to be using corn flour. But corn flour, adds a lot of lumps into your product. So, you want to make sure that, you kind of mix it in with a little bit of sugar that's going to go in your recipe. This way, you're sure that, you will get a very smooth texture in the end. You can see now the purees have become a little lukewarm. So when it's lukewarm, you can add your sugar and your corn flour mix. We will now boil this and make it a consistency that's not very runny and not very thick, just enough for it to coat the back of the spoon. After it's made, you can put it down or pour it out. While this cools down, we're going to be making our next recipe, which is the orange blossom water and saffron cream. So what I do is I infuse my cream with cardamom overnight and also with saffron and orange blossom water. Orange blossom water in Indian terminology, it's known as kevri ka pani. I'm just going to be adding a little bit more saffron just for the little color. I'm looking for a pale yellow. We're going to be making this recipe with agar-agar instead of gelatin. So while the cream is simmering, just add your agar-agar. Make sure you add all of it. Give it another second gentle boil. There you go. Wow, it smells beautiful. So now we will continue to garnish our tart for the final presentation. I'm just going to cut my piping bag of the jelly, a very small tip. I'm going to put that in the base. I'll take the pistachios and put them inside. You can be generous over here. You can take whole pistachios, you can toast them, or you can coat them in a little bit of honey and roast them in the oven. The mascarpone, this adds a little bit of texture and gives a nice flavor as well. Just gently whisk it in. Make sure you whisk air into your cream so you can pipe it. Now going to be garnishing the tart. So I'm just going to be sprinkling some chopped pistachios. And now for the fun part. So we can use jalebis. And now just for a little touch, we're just going to take some saffron soaked syrup, a little bit of gold leaf. I want my mom to try this. I'm going to present her today with these beautiful tarts. Happy Diwali, everyone.